What's up, YouTube? It's China, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, China to Shay. As y'all can see from the title, today I'm gonna be telling y'all the story time of the labor and delivery of my daughter, which is so crazy to say that I have a daughter now. But I am 4 months postpartum, so it's only a month in. It's been a beautiful journey so far, but it still don't seem real. It seemed like it just happened, to be honest, but I'm not gonna ramble too much. I just felt like this was a good way to come back to my YouTube channel, like a new era, a good story time, and just like a different place in my life. So without further ado, we're gonna get straight into the story time. Okay. So backtrack to like the last few weeks of my pregnancy. I would say like around maybe like 35 weeks or something like that. While I was pregnant, I started to experience like a full body itching, y'all. Like full body itching. Like I would be itching like at work, and I would think it was like my compression size, or I would think I wasn't moisturizing properly or something like that was going on, but like my whole body would just like be itching. And one of my coworkers I got really close with, she used to work at an OBGYN office as the front desk. And she was like, you need to go get blood work. Like, you need to tell them about that. Like, you need to let them know. And I would tell like my mom, and she was like, you know, it could be like a moisturizing thing because I have eczema and dry skin anyway. So I was trying not to think about it, but I did talk to my doctors about it. And so I would say like 37 weeks. When I went to the doctor at 37 weeks, they did blood work on me, and they were like, hey, like this could be cholestasis or something like that, which is like a liver disease caused by pregnancy, which makes you itch, and it can cause complications to you and the baby if you keep the baby in. So if I was to have that, they would want to induce me. Since I was so close, like I was like finna be 38 weeks or something like that. Like when they was gonna find out, like I know I was like 38 weeks basically. They went on and scheduled me an induction just to make sure that everything will be safe with the baby, like because it's a high risk for stillborn if you keep the baby inside. And that was on my mind heavy, y'all. I was like, okay, I don't care, get the baby out. We ain't gotta try to go into spontaneous labor. I'm tired of itching anyway. Like let's just set the induction. So I went into that appointment. They was doing stress tests and everything on me at that point just to make sure she was okay, since it was like so close and last minute between me taking it and how long the results come back. They just wanted to monitor everything. They was just like, you need to get induced. So I went to that appointment. They was like, you can come in like it was a Monday. They was like, you can come in tomorrow, Wednesday, or Thursday. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just came to this appointment and now y'all talking about we finna have a baby and y'all talking about I can come in tomorrow. No. So I scheduled the induction for Thursday, because that's when her dad will also be off work and he'll be able to come down and everything to be there. So fast forward to Thursday morning. Her dad calls me, like, because they said my induction, I was supposed to be at the hospital at I think 6 a.m. Yeah, 6 a.m. I want to say. And so her dad calls me like I think like around 4 in the morning, and he was on his way in from Texas to come down. I had the baby in Arkansas. And if you know, you know, like I was in Texas, but I decided to have my baby down here where my family is. And he texts me, he hit something and he's on the side of the road, and I'm like, OMG, like, because he's still in a part of Texas. And so a friend had to come get him. That was a whole thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, what if he misses something? I felt like he was going to be there, but at the same time, that was just stressful. So that happened. Anyway, I make it to the hospital on time. So I'm filling out all this paperwork, getting checked in. And that was a whole process. Like, it was a lot of paperwork and everything. But anyways, I go and I get checked in. So I'm in the room, and you know, I'm just trying to soak in the experience. Like my mom, she was really, you know, there with good vibes. Like she was like, you gonna do a little makeup or something like that? I tried to do a little makeup. I looked crazy, y'all. I didn't have like the materials I got right now. I just got a new brow pencil and all that. Anyways, so I tried to do a little makeup, but the doctors like were coming in and doing stuff. I think, oh yeah, so I tried to do a little makeup, but when I was getting settled into doing that, the doctors came in to get me set up on the IV and everything. So when you're getting induced, like, you have to be on the IV for the medications that they gonna give you and everything. So they put the IV on me. I can't really do, like, I had the IV in my hand, which hand stuff doesn't really hurt me like that. That's why I prefer to get my blood drawn and everything, because I have small veins and it's easier for me. But I get real, like, I don't like to move and do all this stuff when I have an IV in. It just makes me feel weird. So I did a little bit of makeup or something like that. I'm gonna try to pop pictures up there. So pretty much they explained to me, hey, we're gonna get you started on the Pitocin, and it can go up to 20. They told me you can go up to 20, but you may not need that. And I can't remember if I got my cervix checked before or after. I think I got the IV started, and then they did my first cervix check. So this one nurse, all of the nurses were amazing, but this one nurse, she comes in and she was like, if I can't get it, we're gonna have the other nurse come in. So because they was like, your cervix can be really high and everything if you're not, you know, in progress or anything. So she couldn't get it. She didn't even, like, you know, try to play around too much. She couldn't get it. She brought the other nurse in. It was uncomfortable when she did it, but she was able to check, and I was 1.5 centimeters dilated and 50% effaced. That's all I know, they said. So I had already made a little progress on my own, so I was happy about that, because that means this shouldn't go, like, it would have been one thing if it was like, oh, your cervix closed, like no dilation, anything like that. I would have been a little like, but my body was already starting to do some stuff. So she told me that, and then you know, they start the medicine, and from there, like, we're just chilling. I'm getting contractions. I didn't even know I was getting contractions until, like, the nurse came in whenever they came back, and it was like, oh, you're getting a contraction now, like, can you feel that? And I couldn't feel it. I thought, you know what I'm saying, I thought I was gonna be able to go without the epidural. I thought I was, because I was getting them, and then, like, sometimes they would get, like, a little intense, but it was not hurting me bad at all. So eventually the nurse comes back in, and she was like, okay, like, the doctor, he's doing his rounds or whatever. I think I had to pee or something like that, and when I went to pee, the doctor had came, but so he left to do something else, and she was like, when he comes back, he's gonna check you and then break your water. This is when everything went downhill for me. So the doctor eventually comes back in. He's like, hey, like, I heard you already 1.5 centimeters effaced, like, that's great. I'm about to check your cervix, see where you are now, and then pop your water. Y'all, so mind you, I said the other lady had one up there. She couldn't find it, but that didn't hurt. And the nurse, after her, that she was like, she can get it, she's been doing it all this time, she got up there, she checked my cervix. It was uncomfortable, but it was nowhere near compared to what it felt like when this man did. Like, my mama said, like, I had my neck back in the headboard of the bed, and he was so mad, and they was trying to get me to relax, but I could not relax. Like, it hurt so bad. That man trying to check my cervix. And so he checked it, and then, like, he popped my water. Like, I felt all of that, and it hurt so bad. And when he left out, the nurses were so sweet. They were like, because he made a comment, he was like, it wouldn't have hurt so bad, or it wouldn't have been that bad if you don't fight. And I'm like, whatever, like, that hurt really, really bad. So they were like, he has a big hand, like, it hurts, like, don't listen to him, it hurts. Anyways, at that point, I was 3 centimeters dilated, and he broke my water. Once my water started to gush out and I was getting contractions, it literally felt like my uterus was crumbling, crunching together. I don't know what they felt like, but it was some of the worst pain I've ever felt. Like, it was like, I'm really trying to think and be real with y'all. It was some of the worst pain I ever felt. I'm not gonna lie. This is not to scare y'all. Like, you gonna get through it, but that was some of the worst pain. So after trying to thug it out for a little minute, I'm like, no, I need the epidural. I'm gonna get the epidural. I was trying to be strong. I was trying to be tough. Like, my mom was trying to hype me up. And her dad was like, it's a big needle. Like, they're gonna have to stick it in your bag and this and that. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, I gotta get on there. I gotta get on the epidural. So I paged the nurse. The nurse comes in, and I was like, I need to get the epidural. And she was like, okay, we're gonna call the anesthesiologist in here. She explains to me how it's gonna go. She was like, you can't move, obviously, like you can't move. She just basically explained to me how it was gonna go. The anesthesiologist, she came in not too much longer later. She re-explained to me how everything's gonna go. She waited till I got my contractions out, and the other nurse held me. I actually got a contraction while she was putting the epidural in, but she held me breathe through it. I got the epidural. That did not hurt me at all. I felt her put the needle in my back to do the numbing shot. That didn't even hurt me, because I guess I was having a contraction. The contraction hurt so bad. Like, I was not worried about what the lady was doing in my back. It did not hurt me at all. And so she put it in there. They was really supportive. They was like, you did an amazing job. Got the epidural. And then, of course, I got my catheter, because now you can't feel anything. You can't go to the restroom. And it immediately kicked in for me. Like, I'm going to show y'all the pictures, like, from where I was crying, getting the before I got the epidural, and then me after the epidural. Like, I was chilling. I got my face mask. I was able to get a few naps in there, because they still keep coming in there to push the medicine up and to, you know, check my service and all that stuff. I didn't feel any more of the service checks, and I feel like things happen pretty quick, but I was taking naps in between too. So mind you, I got to the hospital at 6 in the morning. So yeah, I got to the hospital at 6 in the morning, and my daughter, she was born at 4. So it was almost 12 hours. It was 10 hours, but it didn't feel like that. So they came in, they were checking my service, and then it was finally to the point where they were like, if you feel any pressure, just let us know. I thought I was feeling some pressure, but I was so numb, y'all. Like, I was really, really numb. I couldn't feel anything. Like, I was super numb. And like, so I was trying to feel for stuff, and so like they kind of just had to keep coming back in there. And then finally they were like, okay, like, you, like, we can get the doctor in here, you can have the baby. Like, like, I'm laughing telling them back, because it's just like crazy, because I was so numb and I didn't feel anything. So it's like, when you hear that, it's kind of like, oh my God, like, I'm finna push a baby out. But at the same time, it was, I'm really sensitive to anesthesia, so I was kind of just like chilling, but I was like, oh my God, like, you know, like, it's time at the same time. So they go, the doctor eventually comes back, and oh no, before the doctor comes back, they had one of the nurses, they give me a towel, and we played tug of war to like practice push. So she had me like pulling up against her force, like without my force, to like push. And we did a few of those practice pushes, and then that's when they went and got the doctor, and he came back. It was time to push. So my mom, she ended up being on this side. The nurse, it was a couple nurses on this side, and then her dad was like, he was like behind my head, helping me. Like, he was holding my hand and like pushing my head up. So I was pushing. The nurse told me I was pushing for an hour. It did not feel that long to me. Like, my jaw kind of loopy, but what was going on, like, they had seen my daughter's head down there for the longest. Like, so I kept hearing them say, like, her head's right there. The nurse kept saying she got a head full of hair, she got a head full of hair. That's all she kept saying for the longest before the doctor even came in there. So I'm thinking it's gonna be easy breezy beautiful, and my baby's not coming out. So the doctor gets in there, so I'm pushing, and well, before I start pushing, he's like, okay, she's sunny side up, meaning her face is facing up. And normally they want the baby to be facing towards your spine when you get ready to have them. And so he was like, that's not optimal. Like, he just coming in there C-section ready, and the nurses weren't going for that. My mama definitely wasn't going for that, and I'm like praying, like, I don't want to do that. So he flips her, she easily turns. He was like, okay, cool. But it was something else, I think. Oh, the main problem. So what it was is, my uterus is tilted forward naturally. I have an antiflex uterus, and that was causing her to be stuck under my pubic bone, I believe, but she was stuck under my pubic bone. And her oxygen, as I was trying to push and get her out, her oxygen would drop. So they would tell me like, breathe, like deep breaths, try to get as much breath in as possible. I thought I was doing that. Obviously, according to her dad and like my mom, that I wasn't really doing that. Like, I was trying to breathe, but it felt like I was drowning off oxygen, because I was they had me doing deep breaths, and then they'll be like like do fast breaths and stuff like that. So I was really confused and I was trying my best, but I was trying to get my baby some oxygen, and her oxygen would get so low, according to my mom and everybody like that. But I was just trying my best to breathe, and he was like, you know, we may have to do a C-section and everything like that. And then I remember the nurse on my right, she was like, I don't know why I'm getting emotional, because now I'm thinking about it, like I really did not want a C-section. I was praying, but she was like, push, like she was like, push, like give it all you have. I'm thinking I'm doing it, but she was like, push, give it all you have. So I'm really trying to do that. And like they were kind of like talking him down too, like we just started, like let's not try to push her to get a C-section. So he ended up, you know, having to use forceps to get her out. And according to like my mama face and his face and everything, like he was down there really trying to like get her out and everything. Mind you, like I said, her head been down there, like my baby was trying to come, she was just stuck. And so it's just like a blessing and a miracle that it, like she's such a fighter. Like my daughter, she's so strong, because just like the whole pregnancy and everything, but like the delivery and like being face up, and then they having to turn her and getting stuck and like her oxygen dropping, like I just love her so much, and I'm just so grateful everything went okay. So anyways, they had to use forceps to pull her out. I had to get stitches. I didn't tear super bad. I did tear because he had to do all that, and then so he did have to give me stitches and everything. She came out, everything was perfect. She had a cone head at first, because she had a cone head at first, but her head just went down and everything like that. But she came out 4:07 p.m. So I was there at 6 in the morning. She came out at 4. So like I said, like 10 hours. And basically that was the delivery. My placenta came out good, everything like that. He showed me the placenta. That was the craziest thing I ever seen in my life. It was kind of like looking like this huge jellyfish that came out. And I didn't feel any of this. I didn't feel the forceps. I didn't feel her coming out. I didn't feel any pressure. I felt nothing. So if you are pain intolerable, or you wondering, I'm not pushing nobody to get something, but I'm gonna tell you the epidural was amazing. And if I didn't have the epidural, that would have been horrible. The forceps and tearing and all that stuff like that, it would have been horrible. So yeah, that was pretty much the gist of my labor delivery. I went in on that Thursday. We got discharged that Saturday. I'm doing good. She's doing good. This is my 4 weeks. So it's been officially a month since I had her. But yeah, I just been soaking it all in. I'll probably save all that for a life of day video, how I'm selling it into motherhood and everything like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.